Well, welcome back, everyone, to Chakra Healing Coaching. My name is JR, pronouns he, him, and his, and I'm your chakra coach. We have Danaysi here with us today.
Hello, everybody. Danaysi here. Nice to see you all.
Yeah,
Excited to be here.
it's always a pleasure to have you on here.
It's always so fun, so fun. And, you give this platform for sharing so many internal thoughts that I come across and that I know so many people out there are also resonating with this because when I come into these awarenesses, it's just looking back in the mirror, you know.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, and with that, looking in the mirror, we had this topic that we've been talking about, and that you brought up, that the pyramid. And
Yeah.
this has been something that keeps showing up for me. It kept
Hmm.
showing up for me the same way that other types of like Judaism is, Israel kept showing up for me, and I'm Cuban. I was born in Cuba.
Yeah.
Full blown, full blooded, with Spaniard backgrounds. I haven't checked my DNA or anything like that. I have been doing this journey purely on
Mm,
emotions and feelings and resonance and what lights me up and who I relate to and who I connect to and who attracts me. So that's how I've discovered a lot of who I have been in the past. And how that is still connected to parts of me now with the higher self pyramid. As I connect to my higher self, as I speak to my higher self, as I follow my golden path
mm,
towards my higher self, I can these information opens up for me. This information is within
yeah.
me, is everywhere, is around me. And I've discovered that I could have been from a tribe in Israel,
Ooh.
um, that was then moved to Egypt. So history is not my forte. Um, this is really powerful information that I got from a really close friend who is able to see things as they
Mm,
show up when we're in a conversation. And that's what it comes back to. So it turns out that somewhere long, long time ago,
yeah.
I belong to an Israel tribe, and shortly after that, I must have lived in Egypt. Because
Hmm.
those things have always shown up for me since my childhood, but they never made sense, and they still kind of don't. I still have to move towards that, because it's still part of integrating who I am today, regardless of who
Right.
I've been in the past,
Hmm.
and how I want to use that for this life, for this body, with my experiences, for where I'm going. So it's a choice.
Hmm. That really resonates with me too,
Mm.
because I've always felt like this connection to Egypt. Whenever we were going over it in history class, now I'm not a history major by no means either, but whenever we would go through it, it just felt like this deep connection, and it was like almost instant when I started looking at like the hieroglyphs and the pyramids and kind of their way of life and whatnot. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And the talk about this whole higher pyramid, when this, like, if you want to say download occurred at that holistic conference that was at, I actually had a pyramid experience there during the sound healing session.
You're mentioning that.
Yes. Yeah. It was
I was
really, really cool, yeah, 'cause I was down, inside, the pyramid, so I've always had, like, this fascination of, like, holistic healing modalities, okay? So, I love energy healing, obviously, the chakras and things like that, but even, like, herbs and medicine and just different things that we can do to, like, improve ourselves, and I was like, I want to know more. So whenever we were in this sound healing session, I was just laying there and I had like a past life memory that surfaced. And I was in Egypt and I was going through like these tunnels, like inside the pyramid. Possibly, I just thought it was these tunnels. It could maybe been a temple or a shrine or something like that. I didn't get the details on that, like in form details, but I knew that I was in Egypt. I could feel the sand. I was going through the tunnels and I was looking at ancient like scry or scrolls on healing modalities, and it was being taught the healing modalities there in Egypt.
Wow. See, that really confuses me. And I don't think it's so much confusion, but I mean, I'll ask you, but I feel like that could it be the future, maybe? Not so much of a past?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, because
It,
that's what I get when I see visions.
yeah, yeah.
Future.
For me, it really felt like it was a past part, a past life of mine. And then later, when I had the Akashic reading, that made so much more connections about me studying these other holistic healing modalities on other dimensions. So whenever that happened and I had that, it kind of just confirmed that it was for me a past life kind of thing that I can tap into for the current, for the higher me.
Mm.
But I love that question because it could have been a future thing too. So you said you see it as more of a like a future thing for you?
Well, I see the past can only show up to help you get to your future.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Um, that's so it could very well be a memory from the past to aid you in the desire to want to seek that out in your future.
Yeah, okay. I could totally get that. It can, because the past gives us the tools and um, the ability, if you want to say, to really propel us into the future that we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has this higher pyramid really just been aiding you right now?
Mm. Huh. it, it reminds me of the basic needs
Mm,
bottom, and it also reminds me of when you're on top of the pyramid, how that feels.
yes.
How does it feel to be on top of the pyramid? So when I'm going through my emotions and trying to get to an emotion or get to a place where I want to get there faster, I come back to myself where I am in that pyramid
Mm,
and recognize, okay, is has it been fruitful or enjoyable for me in the past to kind of just jump from here to there, or where I'm at right now? Do I want to take the steps? And that varies throughout the lunar cycle, right? That varies throughout the month and what we want to.
right.
So for a time like today, on a full moon day, I want to jump
Mm,
to the top of that pyramid. Like I want to be on top of that pyramid today to feel that elevation, to feel that energy.
mm-hmm,
Um, and that's kind of where I'm at. But some days I have to remember, like I am at the bottom of the pyramid because I have been jumping
mm,
so much to the
mm-hmm,
top. Maybe I have forgotten some things at the bottom. My
yeah.
rest, my some foods that that doesn't happen very often because my nutrition's pretty consistent now. Um, yeah, those things are
Yeah.
not they're not so they don't take that much energy anymore to get me out of my base.
Yeah. Yeah. This is maybe a topic for another video, but I love our talks because it's like I get downloads in our talks. We talked the previous video, just pulling back that a little bit, that you can be in the physical realm and the spirit realm at the same time. You really can. And when you tap into that, it's so amazing because you can access the higher self and get downloads that you need for your physical self and have this nice harmony going back and forth. So a lot of times when we talk, it's like I instantly can just tap into that moment, if that makes sense.
I absolutely you mean I have that effect on people.
Right? So as we're talking, and like I said, this may be a topic for another video, because I like to do a lot of research and listen to other theorists on what they think could be possibilities within like history and like the Egyptian culture and pyramids and stuff like that too. But they have proposed a theory that the pyramids were actually like an energy source. Have you heard this?
The pyramid is an energy source.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Okay, so like I would have to get into more studies on details of it, but the theory that is proposed is that basically the pyramids was designed to be like a natural source of energy that could put out an electric current. Okay, and the obelisk that they have throughout Egypt actually were like lampposts. So the pyramid itself would generate electricity and it would travel through the ground and light up these posts so they would have light at night, just like we are doing kind of now. Okay. But it's a natural energy source. And it goes back to Nicholas Tesla that stated that he actually made a duplicate on a small range of this where he designed a structure just like the pyramid and could send electricity through the ground and light up a light bulb nearby. So I'm thinking physically, that's pretty cool, right? You know, essentially, if that was created, that would be free energy source for us because that's what it was in Egypt. Okay, so give us kind of the restraints of freedom with the cost of electricity. But if you really look at that and we pull back into this pyramid, this higher pyramid uh, theory per se. What if not only that, but they realized that being inside this pyramid like design allowed us to energetically bioenergy um, heal ourselves and be able to flow within those energy layers that we talk about and access that higher being at the same time. And they knew this within that pyramid design, and that's why they created them. And many of them have a chamber right at the middle. It's like the middle of the pyramid. And I know I'm probably going way deep with this. Okay.
Well, you know, it's what it's making sense to me right now. What I'm hearing is we are at that pyramid.
Yes.
And that center of us is our heart.
Yes.
When when my heart started to heal, I started to connect in a completely different way to everything inside of
hmm
around me. And that's so powerful for us to know that that's where our healing happens,
Yeah.
healing our
hmm
hearts, healing through love.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is the highest energy that we can possibly reach.
Totally. Yes. That's the highest vibration.
That's the top of the pyramid.
Yes. Yeah. So the way that I visualize this for me personally is that, and I have that diagram. I don't have it with me. I showed it last time, but a person sitting, like in a meditation like pose, whatever you want to say. I was taught Indian style, crisscross applesauce, whatever you want to call it. But you're sitting there and think about this pyramid that is around you. It's around you, and right in the middle of that pyramid is your heart. So it shows the base, just like you were saying, of safety and security at the bottom of that and going up. So it kind of connects the Maslow hierarchy too, going up to that self realization, that actualization of the higher self. And right in the middle of it is our heart. And we have this energy field that goes beyond just a pyramid design, but we're inside of the pyramid. So, yes, we are the pyramid and it's around us, and we can access the physical and the spiritual all at the same time.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like I said, maybe a topic where we can break this down a little bit easier for viewers that are not getting this because it can be a little challenging trying to understand that, right?
Well, in the healing process, once we connect to our heart, that is the direction to our higher self, to that golden path.
Yes.
When I had that happen for me, it was instant. It just made sense. And then the process was in learning to believe, and in learning to trust, and in learning to feel that connection to
Yeah.
myself again, to my higher self, my God self,
Hmm.
my goddess self, my highest, the universe around me,
Yes. Yeah.
everything that we are, and that feels good. That starts to feel good, even when it feels uncomfortable.
Hmm. Hmm. It can be very uncomfortable at times, you know? But without being uncomfortable, we don't have growth and we don't have self-discovery.
Yeah, it's a process that the heart
Hmm.
has to go through to
Yeah.
truly heal, to truly feel it. And when we feel those emotions, those we're healing not just ourselves, but we're healing so many generations. Because
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
the thing that we're feeling,
Hmm.
uh, learning to recognize love can be so strange for people. It was so strange for me. It's still strange. And the things that we recognize as love, could be one thing, and that may not be serving us anymore. It's not a healthy type of love that we're familiar with. So opening up, opening parts of our heart. This is energy centers that get opened up in the heart.
Yeah.
That process of opening up and allowing those energies to go through and feel safe
Hmm.
doing so, that's where the pain goes. We're
Yeah.
questioning so much, where we're questioning we're questioning allowing ourselves to truly open and allow that energy to be felt, to be given, and to be received.
Hmm.
We feel like we have to shelter our love as if it's something that it's going to end,
Yeah. Hmm.
when if this energy around us is infinite, our love is infinite.
Right. Yes.
So each time that we're receiving, we can also give, and that's infinite.
Uh-huh.
That's infinite. And when we're tuned in to our lower centers, to our other energy centers that really ground us to this earth, to this world that we're in, and this physical body that we have in this time, when we're connected to that, that
Hmm.
really elevates the things that we're capable of doing. Because now we're connecting who we
Yes.
are
Yes.
to the heart that we have now, to the pains, to the love, and to show that this is real, to show the pain, to show the love. But when we try
Hmm.
to hide it, we're just keeping it inside, keeping that energy without allowing it to go any.
Stagnant. Yes.
And energy
Hmm.
cannot stay stagnant. Energy wants to move. It needs to move. It will
Hmm.
do everything it can to continue to move.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you pulled that into that it wants to move and it has to move. Even when it's stagnant, it will actually start rotating, but usually it does the opposite if you hold it so much.
And what does that do when it's just
Y-
rotating backwards?
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah, that is the harmful effects that we cause our own body that manifest in different ways. Usually it's illness, disease, cancer, all the stuff that happens is because we have held it in so close that our energy centers can't rotate, it can't flow out that it needs to, and it's stuck there and it's flowing the opposite way. It's like you're enclosing that energy. So I'd like to explain to my clients is that our energy is meant to flow outward and around us all the time. The heart is the core of our being, right? The heart is infinite, and we many times we like to protect our hearts because of experiences that we've had. And that is valid in a way, because without that healing, you're going to try to protect that heart. But when you do that, you harbor all that like unforgiveness and that low vibration that you don't want to benefit mankind. You don't want to benefit others. You start going into the negative mentality and mindset. And that's what happens when we pull it in instead of letting it flow out.
Yeah. And as you said that, gratitude showed up for me.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
it showed up for those wounded parts. Because as I heal and I heal, you know, you see somebody and you see what they're doing and you start seeing it differently. You start seeing what they're saying differently,
Hmm.
and you start putting different faces on them from people that have shown you love and that have transmuted a different energy. And the relationships begin to change organically because you start to feel a little bit more connected to that person and you speak to them differently.
Hmm.
This, in relationships, not just romantic relationships, but the relationships, of course, when you start this with yourself, with you, and start to speak yourself differently, you're able to do so with others too, um, whether respectfully or playfully, or being able to express something that you weren't previously comfortable expressing to that person. But once you
Hmm.
do, it's like this release that comes out, and now there's nothing else to do on your end but allow the process to be returned or rejected. And these are a lot of reflections of how we're performing internally.
Hmm.
How we get to see the relationship and the communications that we have with ourselves when we start to have those communications with other people around us. And the more we cultivate love around those interactions, energy is just flowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
True love, true
Hmm.
honest love, not pleasing to please, not agreeing to agree, but true expression of who you are at that moment.
Yeah.
Allowing that energy to be seen, because energy is everywhere, right? But it's in each one of us to show an expression,
Hmm.
to be physically
Yeah.
available for everybody else to see.
Yep.
So we harness those energies and we do with them the best that we can.
Hmm.
We are this vessel and we get to use it as
Right.
as we need to, as we want
Hmm.
to navigate through this earthly journey that we're here to
Right.
experience.
And you have the power to decide what you do with that energy.
Yeah,
You
we
know.
do. We do. Trauma will take
Hmm.
away a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It would take away a lot of that control.
Hmm.
And some of us just don't know how to move
Right.
move
Yeah.
past. And
Yes.
when it gets really, challenging when we do need someone else to help us. We do need external help.
Mhm. I completely agree. I deal with clients all the time that have had some traumatic experience that has limited their energy. And when you've had some kind of conditioning and trauma like that, it does take part of your power away. It takes that energy away. Even though it's still there, you just don't realize that it's there because now there's a block because there's something has happened. And guiding them through that and accessing that power again is a gift that I just feel like there's no way that I could put, like, limitations on, that's what makes me the happiest is what I'm trying to say. When that person is able to do that and they activate that energy center more again and they, are vibrating more again. I've had so many of them come back and tell me like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." And I'm like, "That's great, but really I didn't do it, you did it." It's like you did the work, you just needed some guidance so that you could activate that energy center, that you could go in that higher pyramid again and bring it back to harmony.
Well, yeah, because the mere choice of being there with you was the beginning of them taking charge.
Mhm. Yeah. They made that decision,
Yeah.
they made that step, and I'm so glad they did. It's like, I'm just the guide. You're the one that has the infinite power also. I mean, yes, I do too. In my own life, I get that, but you as the individual, you have that power to take it back, to let go of whatever it is that has blocked you so much that you can't access this higher pyramid.
Mm.
And I don't know who I'm talking to, but you know who you are. And I am just saying that you have that power, you have the ability. You've been wanting to make this change for so long, but you felt like you were trapped. Your energy was stagnant. You've pulled it inward. You've lived a life that you really want to break free of. And I just want to say that there is hope and that you can do that. I believe in you. And of course, me and Danaysi are right here for you if you'd like to reach out to us. We would love to be a partner with you to guide you through this process.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sad to be stuck in those mindsets for so long. I've had clients tell me that they've been able to recognize themselves after 50 years for the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And it's always a matter of choice of when we're willing to let go of that life and have a new one, have that one life that we want and know that we deserve. Uh, but we can't, the only thing that's getting in the way a lot of the times is our mindsets around
Mhm.
so many things. It depends on your trauma, the
Mhm.
more deeply rooted it is. But it is definitely something that we can move through a lot faster,
Yeah.
a lot faster than what I was previously aware of, a lot
Mhm.
faster than what was ever the choices that were ever given to me.
Yeah.
A lot more beautiful than all the fear that was put in me so that I can stay there. There is a way out.
Yeah.
There is a way out. And when I work with my clients, this process starts to happen immediately,
Mhm.
not 10 years later. Can I curse here? Because I want to curse right now.
Go for it. Yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck those long-term therapies. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And drugs for no reason to mask the problem underneath. Fuck
Mm.
that too.
Yeah.
Face ourselves. Let's face who we are. so that we can be that person that we're here to be.
Yeah.
Ah,
I love this passion right now.
it's not okay. It's not okay because the longer we're told that there's no solution, or that you there's a problem with you, so
Mhm.
the only way is to take this pill, and the only way is to do this. That is such bullshit. We are in so much control of our lives at all time,
Mhm.
at every time.
Mhm.
And you know the thing that hurt me the most is that when I saw my son as a little baby, I already had the awareness that I had work to do, and that I did not want to pass this on to this child. And when I looked at him and
Yeah.
I thought that, the work felt impossible to do, and my subconscious started to slowly kill myself, like
Mm.
slowly want to make myself just disappear so that I was not a problem in his life. And there was another side of me that kept saying, "Are you crazy? You're literally the best guide and person, and like the only person this child needs. Like you
Mhm.
are, if anybody, like you are it." And then there was that other side that said, "No, like we're never going to be that example that this child needs. We're never going to be the person that this child needs, and everybody else. Like just disappear. Start
Right.
to create ways to remove yourself from this because it's not going to work." And then shame and
Mm.
guilt and all the resentment and all the frustration of, how do I do this? Like, how can I raise another human without completely screwing up their life and keeping them trapped into all these chains and all these things that were made up that are not fun. They were not fun for me. Why would they be fun for him?
Uh-huh.
Um, there's been a lot of growth from that.
Yeah.
Taking a
Yeah.
long time, a long time. And I have seen the result on my clients not take a long time, weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
That's a huge difference from years.
Years. Right. Yes. Yeah. 100%. 100%. And you don't have to stay that way. You don't have to be labeled like that. You don't have to be stuck on whatever diagnosis that certain providers want to give you and tell you that you have to have medications for the rest of your life. You can heal. You can do it. And it sounded like, when you were talking about this moment and being overwhelmed with subconscious and, the expectations and everything that happened, that was a lower vibration,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course I had lower vibrations. I just gave birth. I was barely sleeping. I
right?
drinking water throughout the day. I wasn't being nourished
Mhm.
properly. My thoughts were
Yeah.
full of fear of everything that happened to me as a child.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I was surrounded by lower vibrations.
Yeah, right. And when you're stuck in a lower vibration and stagnant energy, you don't see a way out. You have to ascend to a higher place.
Well, that's the way how I saw
Oh,
that
yeah.
place.
Yeah. Mhm.
Interestingly, to me, that death, right? That mindset of like, I need to die. I need to just remove myself from this world. That really
Mm.
started to, the more you think about that, the more you still try to move forward, but you're doing it all chaotically, and
Yeah.
um, you're doing it in a way where everybody's just tugging at you, like, what are you doing? But the way that I did it, I felt like I was doing the best thing for myself
Mm-hmm.
to save myself at that time. And it was really difficult to not have the support and understanding.
Yeah.
Um, However, I still did it. And I wish I had the awareness then that that is a normal thing to go through.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a mission, you have an idea, you have something that you need to get to, as a matter of life or death. And other people will not understand that because they're not going through that.
You're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so important to have a guide or a coach to help you through that, to help you accelerate through that.
So important.
Yeah.
So much more enjoyable too.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yes. I love it whenever I'm with a client and, everyone's experience is a little different. Everyone that comes to me, their mind is different. They have different energies, whatever it is. They learn things differently, et cetera, et cetera. But I love it when they come in and like I pull a activity that's completely different from the other ones that completely like relates and resonates just for them. That's where the magic and the power happens. It's like we can help you get through this a lot faster, accelerate it by, gosh, uh, I don't know if you could even describe the light years of acceleration that can occur, you know?
You just did light years. Years of light. And this is years of light that you're bringing
Yeah.
back into yourself,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the darkness. That's what this is. That's what energy does.
Mhm.
It brings
Mhm.
light.
Yes. Yes.
So when you're able to unblock these parts of you, when you're able to move past mindsets, when you're able to move past beliefs, you allow this energy to flow. You allow your light to flow through.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
can see things in the light, not
Yeah.
from the darkness,
Yes. Mhm. Yeah.
so that you can see yourself in the light, so that you can believe that it's possible too. Because
Mhm. Mhm.
when you're in the darkness for so long, gosh, like it's a good thing that we've been there. If you've been in the darkness, you know what it's like. You
Yeah.
know what it feels like. You will be stronger for getting on the other side.
Mhm. Yeah. Totally.
And something I said is that I didn't have to go to hell. I chose to. Um, and, for whatever reason, hell, what is hell? But all of these emotions and feelings that we experience and don't bring us result, don't
Mhm.
bring a good result, of what we ultimately want to achieve. And there's a lot of things that we can that can keep us in hell for too long.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them are addictions. We're
Mhm.
things that we're addicted to that don't bring us the satisfaction anymore. We're just doing it because we have already trained ourselves to do it, um, because it's what we should do. It's just another way to enslave ourselves and not reach that freedom of feeling how we want to feel
Mhm.
when we want to feel that. So moving away from that hell, little by little, will bring you balance,
Yeah.
will stabilize you again. You'll still be who you are, just a lot happier,
Right. Yeah.
and not like fake happy, like real
Mhm.
happy.
Yeah.
And there's ups and downs. There's no perfection, but at least you'll have the life that you want.
Mhm. It restores joy.
and faith on this
Yeah.
earth and
Yes.
in humanity.
Yes.
And that faith begins with
Ah,
ourselves.
mhm.
When we can start to have faith in the things that we can do and we can accomplish, and who we can be, we continue doing that.
Mhm. And we wanna see all of you do that.
Yeah.
We do. We wanna see you living life to the fullest, the happy life that you desire and deserve to have. You deserve it.
It's a challenge.
Mhm.
Would you like to do this challenge with me?
I love that. Who wants to take on that challenge?
Yeah. It's a fun ride.
It is.
Um,
Well, we are approaching our time now, and that just flew by so quickly,
yeah.
so quickly. I don't know. How do you feel that we should close this episode for the viewers? What resonates with you right now?
Oh, it's a full moon today. And
Mhm.
there's this really big desire within me to take people on this journey uh, of opening up their seven chakras, of opening up their centers,
Mhm.
of believing in their higher self, of being a lunatic like me and believing in their higher self so much that they want to take on that challenge to become that person. And in just a few lunar cycles. So if that sounds crazy, if being your higher self sounds crazy, like doing it in a few lunar cycles, 3 lunar cycles,
Mhm.
I want those lunatics to reach out to me because that's who I want to work with over the next 3 months. Um, and that's a challenge that I'm putting out there.
Yeah, I love that. The lunar cycles, so you're a lunatic.
Yeah.
It's a label for your tribe.
It's a label for my tribe.
Mine's the sparklers.
The sparklers.
Yes. Either way, we both display light years of progression.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for watching. We went over a lot of information. And of course, we'll break down things as we go on this amazing journey. We'd love to hear back from you. So, anything that you have questions, comments, put it down below. We will reach out. We'll create another episode to cover more of that if we need to. We're here for you. We want to help you. We want to benefit you. And take that challenge. If that is you and you want to go through drastic change, light years faster than you ever could, and you want to be a lunatic for Danaysi, please reach out. The email and the website is down below. So go to it, sign up, have a one-on-one with Danaysi, and watch your life completely transform. I can't wait to hear the results. So thank you, everyone, and we will see you next time.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.